Welcome into part two. Part two of Dual Forces, the free masterclass, the two-part masterclass. It's weird when I do a two-part because I feel like there's so much more I have to like I have so much more to say on these concepts and on this topic. And when I like bring it to two, it shifts the dynamic a lot. But here we are doing it anyway, as Kelty says, right? Welcome back in. Just a little reminder that I like you guys that are on live with me, even though Shayla's at work, even though Kelty's out doing the chores. I want you guys in the chat with me. I want you taking part in the conversation. That is the beauty of being on live with me. Um, and I'm so grateful you are on live with me. And then everyone on the replay, I encourage you to, treat this as if you are live with us, like interact, like speak out loud to us. Um, take notes. I love taking notes actually because the more we can, I mean, there's a lot of studies that show that like when we have that like mind body connection, we further integrate the information into our subconscious mind, and it's just awesome to just go back to, right? Like if you are someone who comes back and watches the replays, I always say come back and like watch the replays again and again, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason because every time we do, we learn, we pick up more information, right? And we grow so fast. Like I was just reflecting on myself this week, and I was like, man, this week was like a quantum leap in itself, and it's so beautiful. So every time we come back and listen to the replay again, you're going to pick up different information, and there's going to be even things that you're going to hear that you didn't hear the first time. So I definitely recommend re-listening. But when it comes to note taking, I also love sometimes, not all the time, but going back through my notes, like you guys that are inside the tapping challenge right now, I gave you the kind of suggestion to go back and look through your notes 1 month ago because we're in a 30-day tapping challenge. Today is the last day of the 30-day tapping challenge. And it's just incredible how far you've all come, how far we have all come. And sometimes we don't realize it unless we look back. So note taking is also a really beautiful thing because it shows where your awareness is at. Because even if you do come back and listen to this, say, in a few weeks or a month's time, um, you can actually pull up your notes at the same time and see how far you've actually come. It's really beautiful. So if you're here on the replay and you didn't catch part one, I highly suggest you pause and then go catch part one and then come back for part two because they do go in order. You will get the most out of it if you catch part one first. And then also there was the upgrade option. Our VIP mastermind call is going to be announced today inside the group chat. Okay. It's going to be tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's at 9 a.m. Central Time or Costa Rica time, should say, Mountain Time. But I'm going to confirm that in the group chat with you guys. Okay. There's still the option to upgrade as well. If you're watching this and you did not upgrade, for $11, you can upgrade for the group mastermind call where we are just going to open up, mics off, and integrate this information. There's an opportunity for hot seat coaching on this call. It's an opportunity to bring your questions to me, like bring any resistance or any like doubts or information that you notice that is coming up for you as you are moving through this event, as we are moving through this event. It's your opportunity to bring it to the table and let's talk about it. Okay, so yesterday we talked about the effortless way. We spoke about a lot of different things, a lot of which I don't even remember, honestly, because there's a lot to it. We talked about the feminine energy, right? There's still so much, like I mentioned, there's so much I could talk about on this, but like the point of this live experience here is to just plant some seeds, to just show you what's possible and to remind you that there is an effortless way, that success is not the result of a lot of hard work all the time, right? It doesn't need to be that way. Although it's a lot of people's truth, it doesn't need to be our truth. Okay, I also wanted to show you, through my sharing my own personal examples, and Kelty was on yesterday with me as well, and sharing her own personal examples of how we move through life and move through our work in a different way. And that alone changes everything. So we now know that the effortless way does not mean that we just sit back and do nothing. we just meditate and visualize all day long and we just like, wait for this like bag of money to fly out of the sky and hit us in the head. Like, I mean, we're not like opposed to that happening by any means. We're open to receive in all ways, all the good that's available, right? And the infinite good that's available. But we're also, we know now that we're not just going to sit around and wait for it to happen. We get to, we're not doing that. We're not just sitting around waiting for it to come. We actually get to move towards it. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let me know how the sound is because I know the Azzy's over there doing some art. So, I like not too long. When I say not too long ago, I mean it's all relevant, right? It's all I forget the word actually. It's all like relative is the thing I'm looking for. Um, I used to say, like, I want to move faster. Like, let's go, let's move faster. Like, I want to move faster, but nothing's happening. Okay. Have you ever caught yourself saying that? 1 second, sorry. Hey guys, do you think you'd be able to sit inside? Thank you. Um, like I used to say, come on, I want to move faster. Let's go faster. And and I used to then affirm it with, I want to move faster and no one's showing up. Where are the people? Where are the people that want to move? Okay, and I want to bring awareness to this for two reasons. One being that it's not until I realized the quote, and I actually remember exactly where I was. I was sitting on a bench at Freshies in Fernie, sitting there, and I was listening to something that brought up this quote by Wallace D. Wattles that this whole event is based on. And it's the quote that your thoughts have the magnetic power to draw everything to you. Your action is what makes you open to receive. So in that moment, I realized that I get to choose the speed at which I move. I get to choose the speed at which I move. I get to choose the speed at which the clients come to me, the money comes to me, the whatever success and to any degree comes to me. I get to choose. There's no more waiting. And this belief that I needed to wait was showing up a lot in my life then. That I thought that I was always ahead and people were still needing to catch up. Have you ever felt that? Okay, so the other reason I share this is because it's not just our beliefs that we're talking about here, right? The biggest thing that came up last night as I was reflecting on yesterday's conversation and then kind of preparing some notes for today was that it does come down to our beliefs, right? Like our beliefs create our reality. And when we have a belief, right? How do I say this? There's always a sponsoring thought that comes after a belief or a decision. Okay, so for example, that was the sponsoring thought. I was saying, I want to move faster. I want to move faster. That implies that I'm not moving fast. That there's a belief inside me that believes that I could be doing more. Okay, or that I'm lacking something in some way. So the sponsoring thought to that belief is that I'm not where I'm meant to be. And then the other sponsoring thought was that people are not paying attention or nobody's listening or like, right? Do you see how it's so important? It's not just like choosing a new belief. It's actually, okay, I choose this new belief, but I also am going to watch the sponsoring thought, the thought that comes after the belief, because that is, remember when we talk about like those golden keys, right? Those golden pieces of information. That is that. Okay, if you have if you're like, yeah, I am abundant, like I exist in overflow, like this is my truth, like X K months are my normal, like I'm a multimillionaire, like let's go for ice cream. And then you get to the ice cream shop and you're like, damn, that's expensive. That could be a sponsoring thought as well, right? It's like, and that shows us actually where our beliefs are. Are we following? So that's the biggest thing that I came off the call yesterday. I was like, oh, like it honestly like has so much to do with our beliefs. But to really, really get to know our beliefs, we have to watch the sponsoring thoughts because that is actually what shows us what we currently believe is true. Okay. Have you guys have you guys experienced that? Let me know in the chat. I know you guys are both busy, but let me know in the chat the sponsoring thoughts and bringing awareness to the sponsoring thought. And then in the moment, what do we do to move that? What do we do to reframe that sponsoring thought? We notice it, right? We build awareness around it. Oh, that was an interesting thing, right? That was an interesting reaction or an interesting thought. And once we have the awareness of, oh, that's a sponsoring thought that shows me actually I still have a little bit of resistance in my mind or in my body that I can shine a light on and I can move through. And that is actually worth a celebration. Because remember that any sort of contrast, resistance, any sort of like doubt or fear is not an opportunity to get down on ourselves or make up a whole story of how we're not there yet or not good enough, not working hard enough. It's actually a beautiful opportunity to reflect and to lean in and to say, oh, wow, I am celebrating right now because I noticed that I just said that's extensive. Okay. And extensive is a word we don't use in my world. Never. Expensive, starting now, effective immediately, that is no longer part of your vocabulary. Nothing is expensive. It's all relative. And when you're a multimillionaire, absolutely nothing is expensive. Makes me think about my property. We upgraded to $1 million property, and my husband was mortified that the taxes were more. Where I was like, I'm so grateful. I have so much stuff to pay so much in taxes. How can you want more if you don't want to pay more? Yes, great example there, Kelty. Great example. Yeah. And that sponsoring thought is what is like the dominant vibration, right? The reality is that we cannot lie to the law of attraction ever. You can lie to your best friend. You can lie to me. You can lie to your sister, whatever. But you cannot lie to the law of attraction. And I'm learning this week. This has been like the dominant learning for me this week is like getting to the root of the sponsoring thoughts and realizing how important, I say this all the time, like how important our beliefs are, yes, but like how important it is to say, like, have ownership over our thoughts. That's really what it comes down to. And it's not that, again, we scold ourselves when these, thoughts of lack or limitation show up or doubt or fear, whatever. It's really very much that. It's owning and being so aware when these thoughts, these sponsoring thoughts that maybe are not serving our highest good, when they show up, we have the awareness to catch them. And every time we do, what's happening, right? We used to, or sorry, I'm like reading it. That's why when I'm in the chat, I'm like, I'm looking over here. Don't read it, because then I'll say it out loud. At the same time as I'm trying to say something else. So it's so funny. So Kelty said, I did used to cringe at the cost of things and then have buyers regret. Now I'm so grateful when I pay, I have enough money to buy the things. Yes. And it's made a huge difference. She says, like, that is everything. And also seeing everything as an investment. That makes a big difference because it's like when we are spending money, spending is a term that implies it's going away, right? Investing means that it's growing, right? I'm investing my money. So that changes the whole energy behind it. If you haven't listened to or read the book The Having by, oh gosh, it's like Hook Young Shi or something like this. Like I'm going to butcher it. I think it's Korean. I think she's from Korea. But that is a beautiful book to listen to. It's called The Having, and she talks all about investing and like spending in a different way. And even when we are like up leveling so quickly, right? It's really important to continue to expand and to stretch what our mind believes is comfortable and possible. And when it comes to investing, or what we would have previously called spending money, for example, if it's like you're investing in a program or mentorship of some kind, if there is this like discomfort when you go to make the investment, it's seeing that discomfort as the truth of what it is. Because like we've talked about this before, I'm going to touch on it really quick here because when we have this like comfort, we're not growing. Comfort is like this lie that we've been taught that is safe. Like comfort is safe, okay? But comfort also equals not much growth, if not any. Excuse me, my throat is so dry. So working on it. I'm healing, my body's strong. Okay. So discomfort is that which we feel when we go to make an investment that is stretching our normal. Okay. And that discomfort is actually really beautiful because this discomfort, this edge, no matter what it is you're investing in, right? Or spending your money on, no matter what it is you're buying or purchasing, you are when you were on that edge of discomfort and you were kind of gently nudging that comfort level, that equals uncharted territory, and that is growth, that is expansive, that is so exciting, right? Like Kelty mentioned yesterday about her books, she's like, I'm going to put everything for the next how many months, Kelty? Everything, every piece of guaranteed income I have for the next, I think it was like 12 months or something like that. She's like, I'm going to invest it in publishing these 3 books because I know 10. Yeah, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I am an author, that these books are going to reach the right people and they're going to change countless lives. And in the exchange, I'm going to be compensated greatly and I'm going to enjoy the process. Were there moments of doubt? Of course there were, because Kelty's never done that before. And that's so beautiful, right? So I think it's really important to remember is that discomfort means that we are moving forward. So when we are, however, like coming back to the book by Shi, I want to know her name now. Um, it ends in Lee, I think, but anyway, the having. If Kelty was to go forward with that investment and say, oh fuck, I don't think it's gonna work. Like, and everything in her body's like, me, like radar's going off, and she's like, I can't, like, I don't think I could do this, like investing in the fear from a space of absolute fear and like giving her power away to the discomfort and doing it in that way, that is when, and this is what she talks about in the having, is like that is like the red light, right? There's a red light and there's a green light. Okay, of course there's going to be discomfort, especially like obviously if you've never done it before, and obviously if it's something so like that feels so big because you've never done something that big before, of course there's going to be discomfort. But the key here, what we want to work with is the nervous system. And that is what we do with tapping, right? That is the work we do in my world, is expanding our perceptions, expanding our capacity to perceive more, receive more, and hold more. That's what we're doing with the nervous system work. Because coming back to the topic of this event here, the effortless way is not forcing our way forward. The effortless way is not figuring it out and like feeling the fear and doing it anyway. The effortless way is alchemizing that fear. Yes, feeling the fear and alchemizing it into fucking fuel for your mission, for your revolution, right? Is that landing? Like, is that exciting? Is that because there's going to be fear, right? There's going to be fear, and that's the beautiful piece. So beliefs are very important. The sponsoring thought is going to leave clues of where your beliefs are at. And it's going to be opportunity for you to, to lean in, get curious, and to get to know yourself even more. And there's always going to be sponsoring thoughts. But instead of sponsoring thoughts of lack and limitation, what if we start replacing those and playing with this, right? Replacing those sponsoring thoughts with thoughts of abundance. So when we go to invest, we're paying the taxes. We are buying a bunch of gourmet ice creams. We're going on a trip. We're investing in ourselves instead of the sponsoring thought being, oh, fuck, I don't know if it's going to work. Or, oh my God, this is so expensive. We're going to sponsor that. We're going to have that sponsoring thought be, I'm so fucking abundant. Like, there's more where that came from. That's a good one to adopt. That mantra, you paid for your groceries. There's more than where that came from. The cashier's like, what? Oh, nothing. There's more where that came from. Like that is the energy we want to be in. And it's so beautiful. So when we go to take this action, How are we taking action? Okay, we're taking action as a new version of us. I gave you guys homework yesterday to sit with her. Those of you that are in my world and have gone through the tapping, you were into the tap into her event that we did in September. Like, you know what I'm talking about when I say her. So I gave you guys, everyone here who registered for the event, who may be watching in the future. I've had this on YouTube as well. Um, I gave you the homework to sit with her, to get to know her, because often I hear people say, well, how do I know what action to take? How do I know how she thinks? How do I know how she moves? And how I should be feeling, or how do I know what the sponsor's thought should be? It's through that. It's through actually realizing that you have access to her right here and now. And some people may resonate with this, some people might not yet. If you really think about it, when we travel back through time, for example, when we go back through, and maybe you're following a quantum healing session or an inner child quantum healing session, you're going back through time. I take you on these journeys and we go back to a place in time where something happened that really impacted you. And maybe that something has been, that emotion has been replaying and has been showing up a lot in your life. Okay. When we go back in time to that time and space, to when we were that younger version of us, experiencing that at that time, that impactful event, when we go back, we can still feel the same emotion as if it was happening now. And that makes us wonder, when we think about timelines and we think about different dimensions, nobody actually knows. It's all a hypothesis. But when we go back through time and experience that experience again, and our body has the same reaction, right? Because our body doesn't know what's happening now and what's happening then, but it still feels as if it is happening then, or is it happening now? Sorry. When we go back there, that same emotion is invoked, right? And similarly, when we go into the future timelines, when we go into different timelines that are not yet here in this 3D physical world, they don't have to be far away. When we say future, we're not talking about 10 years from now. It could be tomorrow, right? So when we go into the future timelines, similarly, we can actually invoke a different emotion and we can experience a different version of us. And that's what I meant with by go and sit with her, because you can access her and all of that information right here and now. And the beautiful thing is realizing that, our mind still plays a role in that, right? Like, we are still having a human experience and we're still operating from the human mind. And so even if we try to, like, let go of the mind and I don't even know, like, detach from this human experience, there's still going to be this human experience because this is our experience right now. Okay, so when we go into these future timelines, our mind is still going to be impacting our perception. Think about that for a second. So this is why I always say it's like, it's not up to you to actually control. And that's why we did that tapping yesterday on letting go of control. Because when we do believe that we get to control, we start to limit ourselves in a really big way. So no matter what, like I just said, like, our perception, our human experience is still going to limit us in some way, right? It's just the nature of the mind, the human mind, right? So knowing that when we go into these future timelines, what we are experiencing is still only this much of the picture, right? And I say this all the time, but like, if I would have tried to figure my way out of, getting to Costa Rica and making sure it's all planned out perfectly and like, you know, um, controlling the process, I couldn't have ever dreamt this up. I had no clue that I was going to meet my now partner, the father of my youngest child, 2 days after I arrived. I had no clue that I was going to give birth to another child in Costa Rica. I didn't know that, right? If I would have tried to control that and like plan out the whole while, I think I would have greatly limited myself, because for example, like, I had this idea that I would be in Europe in the spring of 2019 or sorry, 2020, around like March, February, March. What happened February, March 2020. The universe had different plans, right? The world had different plans. Somebody had different plans. Okay. There was no way if I would have said, I need to continue to follow this plan and continue to control the situation, I would not be where I am right now, right? So it's so important to realize that even though you are sitting, you think you are sitting with her and the highest version of you, there is still so much available that you don't even know about right now, that you can't even perceive. Okay. And when we realize that, we actually, that's why a lot of my visualizations will actually go when you're in the visualization, we actually see some sort of a screen or a reflection that shows us what's coming because it gives your mind this opportunity to think bigger, to go bigger. And that's really important to calibrate to the level within or the next level within the next level. It's always about expansion. That's why anyone who's worked with me privately, my private clients know that I'm like, okay, but let's go bigger and let's operate from that idea. Let's think and believe from that version of you because that energy is completely a different frequency and has such a different vibration and point of attraction than just this first level. Okay, so I gave you guys the homework to sit with her because then that is how you know how she thinks, how she moves, what she looks like, how she carries herself, how she feels, right? Then you know what action to take. And intuitively, you know, right? A lot of this work, if you are newer here, a lot of this work has to do with trusting yourself again. And a lot of us have lived, a very interesting life. I attract women who are not conventional by any means. We've lived relatively or immensely unconventional lives. And there's been moments where we have been told we can't do certain things and that's wrong, or don't think that way, or that doesn't matter. And here we are now, right here together. It's no coincidence that we're all here together, right? And you're here listening to this, that, this is the work is actually, and I talk about this all the time, is like, it's not so much like personal growth and development. I see it as this like shedding of layers of like letting go of other people's bullshit, like and remembering who I am here to be. But just like I've mentioned a lot over this past month of Neil Donald Walsh and in his book series Conversations with God, like life is not a series of events. It's not a series of happenings and lessons, right? We've been taught that life is lessons, but it's actually not. Okay, life is not, of course, there's learning, we're learning all the time. But when I said personal growth and development is less about like putting things on you and conditioning and learning more, it's more about, I really do see it as like this release of other people's shit, at least at first, right? Like letting go of like all the programming, and this is a lot of the work we're doing here, right? Especially with tapping, right? These beliefs that are showing up, these sponsoring thoughts, like this is all other people's information. So a lot in the beginning and I think throughout, is letting go of this information that we've collected along the way. And then remembering how to trust ourselves and remembering that the truth actually resides within us. And it's not that we need to go through different lessons. It's more so deciding, where the fuck do I want to go? And how beautiful does that feel? That nothing that happened up until now, nothing that anybody ever said or told me needs to be even relevant to me going forward. Like it doesn't need to impact me, my decisions, my direction. Nothing going forward needs to come from even today, my results of today. And that's beautiful, right? Because I get to choose, you get to choose. And that's what Neil Donald Walsh was saying when life is not a series of events that, you need to like work your way up to like through these lessons. Okay. It's very much this process of remembering, yes, shedding these layers, these masks, these like information, right? And then deciding, what do I want? And it's actually deciding with the understanding that we are actually limitless human beings. In fact, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're not just human beings, right? We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we are limitless. But life has told us that there are limits. Life has told us that having a lot is selfish. Life has told us that money's really hard to come by. Life has told us that, what else? Tell me in the chat, what has life told us? That the world is a harsh place, but it's a struggle. What else has life told us over the years, right? Life has told us that work is hard. Life has told us, yeah, Sheila, life has told us that things take a really long time. That's another one. Like people have these like 10-year plans. I'm like, 10 years. Holy shit. I got like maybe like a 6-month plan. Not even. I'm just like, this is like the direction I'm moving in. And let's go. Universe, like, show me how good it can get. Right? So all of this information does not need to limit us in any way. So when we're taking action, coming back, taking action, we're taking action as her. Okay. I always ask myself, and I always ask my clients, this is all you guys heard me say this, what idea are you thinking from right now? What idea am I thinking from? Because when we go to take action as her, we must catch ourselves and remind ourselves that, what idea am I thinking from? Am I thinking from the idea of making money? Okay. Because if we're thinking from the idea of purely just making money, and this is like a pretty in-depth conversation here, but if I'm thinking from how do I make money to pay bills? Okay, that's better. How do I make the money because I need to pay the bills? What kind of ideas am I going to originate? Like this. I'm going to think of how to make some fast cash. And I'm going to think of it from the idea of lack and limitation, right? So if I'm thinking how to create a revolution, a multi-million-dollar empire, and I'm thinking from the wish fulfilled, I'm thinking from the version of me who is a multi-millionaire, a decamillionaire even. What ideas am I going to originate? What moves am I going to make? How am I going to show up? Okay, I had a conversation with my mentor yesterday, and she said, speak as if, show up and teach and lead as if there are hundreds of women in the room. And I was like, girl, I've been doing that for years. Like, this is what I do. There's 2 people on live with me right now. Do you think I'm speaking as if there's 2 people on live with me right now? No. There's 200 people on live with me right now. 2,000 people on live with me right now because I'm thinking from the idea of abundance and wealth. Does that make sense? So what I'm doing is I'm going to give you a real life example right here and now, like real time. I wrote some notes down, but I just have a couple little, I have some notes there, but I don't generally use my notes that much. Okay. Why? Because I'm thinking from the idea of being the CEO of a multi-million-dollar coaching academy. What happens when I think from that idea and move from that idea? I channel. I receive the information. If I was thinking from the idea that there are 2 people on live with me right now, and I'm like, oh, there's only 2 people on live with me right now. And I go through the thing, I'm like, oh, better get this over with. There's only 2 people on live with me right now, right? Do you see the difference? Yes, right? We see the difference. Monumental. This is fucking worlds apart. And this is what I say when I encourage you guys to think from a different result, think from a different identity. This is where the effortless way really shows up because there is nothing like this is not effort for me. This doesn't even feel like work, right? And like to think that this is what I get to do. This is what I get to do. I get to serve like this and share my wisdom that many people actually over my life told me was wrong. Just throwing that out there, right? I get to be the best of me and become the best of me and be compensated greatly for it. Oh my God. Like what? What a dream come true. So this is why I'm so passionate about this conversation, about the effortless way, about really truly like becoming the best of yourselves and watching your beliefs because this is available to you, whatever it means to you, like whatever shape or form it looks like to you, the effortless way is available to you as well. So when we go to take action, if we're taking action from a thought of limitation or how do I survive? If we're thinking of surviving, we're thinking of surviving, our action is going to be small and it is not going to be as magnetic, right? When we're thinking from the idea of, I am a multi-million dollar business owner, like I am a best-selling author times 3, right? Like I am a highly sought after, sold out coach. What are we going to originate? What action are we going to take? What ideas are we going to originate? How are we vibrating is another one. Remember, we talked about the vibrations, the frequencies yesterday. This is how we move up to the frequency of the wish fulfilled. It's through telling ourselves a new story. It's through telling ourselves a new story. And it's through embodying. This is not fake it till you make it, right? It's through embodying a new idea. Shayla, I started telling this family that I'm a world-renowned podcaster. Tell the world that it's happening. Never thought in a million years I would write a book, even though I always wanted to, let alone 3 and more on the way. Yes, Kelty. Oh my gosh. And Kelty's now working on a nonfiction, right? And I'm like so pumped for that, Kelty, because Kelty has always had this incredible imagination. Like I'm so pumped. It's going to be like the next J.K. Rowling is right here. Kelty Monroe. Kelty Jean, right? That's so exciting. So can't wait. Yes, it's when we allow ourselves, I'm like tearing up, right? It's so emotional because this is it. Like when we allow ourselves to just be ourselves and to just like believe in something more than this current reality, our current results, our current work, our current income, like our current relationships, when we give ourselves permission to actually ask, what if it is possible? What if I could do that? Because that's the truth. When we have those thoughts, right? Kelty wanted to be an author since she was how old, Kelty? She would tell herself, I think it was in her 20s. She said I was going to write a book one day. What actually helped you? 17 probably. What actually helped you to take that step? Not going and like taking a course on how to be an author. Not like, I'm not saying like courses are bad, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like she didn't go and like force herself or like, yeah, like learn how to write a book. She just, what'd you do? She convinced herself of a new idea. I think it was that I started living at the end as if the wish fulfilled, and then this came as a gift. Yes, absolutely it did. And this is right after Blissiplined, right? The Blissiplined event where we embodied the highest version of ourselves and lived as her. Like I saw Shayla completely transform in that program as well. Like insane. And then now at the end of the 30-day tapping challenge, like we are literally unstoppable. You're unstoppable, all of you. Incredible, right? So we know now that action is something that is necessary. We must take action. But it gets to be this action where we're like, oh shit, I'm so excited. I'm fucking shaking in my boots, right? I am so nervous and like so uncomfortable, but I'm like, my soul is on fire. That is the action we get to take. That is the effortless way. Healthy. It was the default to design course. That was the first catalyst. That's where I learned I could live from the end. Ah, and it's all, I taught that course. What year did you take it? I taught it twice. The first time was incredible. I don't remember when I taught it. 2023. 2023. Fall 2023. And that just opened up. Again, this is what we're doing here, like on this call, on this event. That's why I do these live events, really. It's part of my story now. I love that so much. Is because even if you just are asking yourself now, what if it is possible? That is everything, because the seed has been planted. The seed has been planted. And maybe, you know, maybe it sits there for a little bit, sprouting, growing little roots, and then eventually it's going to show up again, right? I have people that come into my world and they stay in my world, but I also have people that come into my world and then leave my world and then come back into my world. It's because they questioned the seed, right? They questioned it. Maybe something else caught their attention for a moment, and then they remembered who they were and what they're here to do and how they felt when they're here. So special. Oh, I love that, Kelty. Okay. So the discomfort is comfortable now. I'm hosting a podcast. I never thought that'd be something I was capable of doing. Oh, it's just the beginning. And she's going to be hosting multiple podcasts soon, right? Or multiple, I guess, like series is on your podcast. Me neither. Shayla's got her podcast going too. Guys, like, we got lots to say. Like, the world needs to hear from us, right? Shayla, Kelty, like everyone watching on the replay, like you have wisdom inside of you that the world is calling for. I want you to think of this. Like, Shayla has 2 episodes up. Holy shit. Somebody right now is praying for you, is wishing for you. Somebody right now is wishing for you. It opened up something so big for me, I can't stop. And just going to keep getting better. It's going to keep getting better. Yes. Yes. I told Shayla the other day on Threads, I was like, I can't wait to celebrate episode 111. It's so exciting. Again, there I am, like expanding, connect into that. Like, it's, same thing that we just said. Like, am I operating from I have 2 episodes up, or am I celebrating my 111th episode? Right? That is such a different frequency. So you guys are amazing. Okay, should we do some tapping? Tapping on taking aligned action as her, because it is time. Okay, find a comfortable seat. I'm just gonna get set up here because I like to record these separately for you guys. Sequoia, where's the phone, babe? Oh, actually, I can use this one. It's okay. Thank you. Usually have all the phones. That's all good. I can use this one. I don't know why. I thought I had to use the other one. Okay, find a comfortable seat. Maybe roll your shoulders back or shake it out. And then when you are ready, sit a little bit taller. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Slowly exhale through the straw. And just notice how you're feeling before we begin. I want you to really tune into this emotion right now, this frequency that we are all in together. Notice how you're feeling, allowing it to become you, okay? To become your normal. Take another big inhale in. This is your truth. It's just the beginning, and it's so exciting. Okay. When you are ready, you can open your eyes if you want. We're going to begin by tapping right on the top of the head. I have decided that I am taking aligned action towards my dreams in a new way today. And anything and everything that used to hold me back or limit me in any way no longer does. All of the fears, all of the doubts, all of the insecurities, and even all of the opinions that I've been holding on to. I'm letting them all go. Freeing them back into the wild. Because I'm here to do really big things. And I no longer give my power away to anything or anyone. And this feels. How does it feel? Because I am a woman on a mission. I'm here to change the world. And I'm no longer here for the hustle or even working really hard. And instead, I am consciously choosing the effortless way. The path of least resistance. And I am choosing to have more fun, to romanticize my life, to create a bigger impact, and to make more money. Through being the version of me that I have been becoming for so long. The gap has closed. I can feel this so strongly in my body. And I have this deep knowing that I am safe. It is safe for me to make these new moves. It is safe for me to speak my truth in this new way. It is safe for me to believe wholeheartedly in something so big and so wild. Because I believe in me. And I believe in my vision. And I know that I can't miss it. And I can't mess it up in any way. Because this is the effortless way. And if at any point I feel the old stories trying to sneak back in, that's okay. Because I now have the awareness to catch them, to celebrate them, to bless them and release them, and to replace them with the truth. And I know that over time, they won't show up as often. Because this old information These old thoughts and beliefs no longer own me. I own them. And I'm going to go into my day now, excited to take new action as her in this new way. Because I know that this is my truth. And I know that I am so ready. And I'm so worth it. People all over the world are waiting for me. Let's go. And so it is. Bring one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Notice how you're feeling. Imprint this emotion on your cells, your body, your emotional body, your quantum field right now. Exhale through the straw. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Oh, so beautiful. Let me know how that landed for you, how you're feeling in the chat. This is your truth. This is what is real. This. I want to do that one every day next week. Okay, I recorded it. I'll put it in the membership. It'll also be right beside this recording as well for everybody who registered for this event. So good. It's all happening. I say this all the time. It's all happening. I love how quiet I get on the inside. Lots of watery eyes on that one. Yes. Oh, this is a lot of what I hear, honestly, is like, I have space between my thoughts. And this is, for those of you that are brand new, newer to tapping as well, this is going to be the first thing you notice is you're going to start to have space. You're going to have this, like Anael said inside the challenge, she said, it feels like there's like this void, like this open space that I didn't know existed before because I thought I had to do the whole entire time. I thought I always had to move 100 miles an hour and do. And if I let my foot off the gas even a little bit, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to fail. I'm going to lose it all. Right? Oh my gosh. Like it's not, everything is, this is it. This is it. I love this so much. Okay. So how are we feeling? We now know the effortless way exists. The effortless way is available for us. And how do we access the effortless way? It's through becoming, it's through telling ourselves a new story. It's through developing a new identity for ourselves. And it's through taking action in a new way. It's through intentionally thinking from thoughts of limitless potential. It's through thinking and taking action from the wish fulfilled. That is the effortless way because there is nothing we need to do. There's everything we need to be. And although we've lived a whole entire life believing that we need to be something else, believing that we need to learn more, believing that there's only one way to do it, believing that there's only one fucking answer, right? Shayla's in the school district, like she gets it, right? All three of my kids are home with me, totally unschooled, right? It's like there are a million different ways to do any one thing. Like Kelty and I were talking about our podcast yesterday. There's a million different ways to do any one thing. And we have this incredible, potent wisdom and magic inside each and every one of us. And all we need to do is remember it and choose it and amplify it. Every single day, I choose that. Every single day, I choose that. This is my identity. This is who I'm here to be. What's going to happen? The law of attraction will deliver without fail. You can hold the in-between. And remember, there is a leg. You can hold the in-between. How do we hold the in-between? Getting ourselves in spaces that expand us and continue to elevate us. That is one way. Tapping every single day, reminding ourselves of our truth, looking ourselves in the mirror and saying, this is your fucking truth. Let's go. This is This is just a moment in time. This is just old information. This is just whatever it is. This is your truth. And telling ourselves that every single day, that is how we override. It's not enough to just disregard a thought of lack or limitation. It's not enough to just continue to tell ourselves, I'm healing. You're healed. Okay. Starting now, effective immediately, you have healed and you are ready now. And it's so incredible how fast everything happens, right? You guys can attest to this, how fast everything happens the moment we choose that. And we choose that and we choose that again, everything starts happening around us. We saw this firsthand in the tapping challenge as well, right? By week 2, we're seeing signs of land. We're seeing proof of our manifestations happening around us. The problem is that we have been focused on so much on what's not working and the lack and the opposite of what we want, because that is for some reason like how our mind sometimes works, how our brain has been programmed to perceive the world. Interesting. But we don't do that anymore. We always look for the best possible scenario. Okay. I said one thing in that tapping that I just want to address before I open up and share what I have for you next, for those of you that want to continue on in this energy and in this work. I said we romanticize our life. Okay, I was on a call yesterday that really my biggest takeaway from the call was to I'm just looking at my notes because I want to make sure I word it right. It was don't be casual with life. Don't be so casual with life. Okay. If you take anything away from these 2 days, I want you to take it this. Don't be so casual with life. Don't be nonchalant, right? Okay. Don't continue to half-ass life or half-ass things. From now on, we give it our all. We give it our all. And this is how we work with the law of compensation as well, you guys. The law of compensation, the way in which we get compensated, we are compensated through our work, through our wisdom, through our exchange. If we basically get what we give, we get out of our exchange what we put in, what we give. Okay, so we have been taught, and again, I say this a lot, but like most people aren't even trying. Okay, let's be real. Most people are not even trying at life. They're just floating through life. That's not us anymore. So this is very real for me because I didn't have a very high standard and I like, this is not like disrespecting. I don't want to like sound like an asshole or anything, but like, I didn't have to try very hard. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Like, from now on, we are creating our own standard. And so when we do, Sheila's been talking about these, like, I forget what you call it, your main character walks, right? But like our hot girl walks, whatever we want to say, or when we wake up in the morning, let's not be so casual with life. If we want to wear the fucking dress while we do our house cleaning, the gown, right? Like whatever it is, we're washing the dishes, wearing our freaking heels, like whatever that means for you. Like I want you to take life seriously starting now, because there is no second chance as far as we know it. Okay. And a lot of us, and I'm going to get emotional again. Like, what is this? I vacuumed the couch and a mini screen yesterday. I bet your husband liked that one. He wasn't mad. Like if, if we have, like, let's just think this for a second here. Like if we have been waiting for outside permission, for validation from people who, I mean, no offense, but like, who are not even trying, what are we doing, right? If we have been like waiting, or no, here, if we have been dimming our light because we're afraid of what some fucking idiot on the internet's going to say, what in the world? If we have been dimming our truth, downplaying the wisdom and the fire that we have, the passion that we have within us because we're worried about what someone from high school is going to say, fuck off. If like, sorry, but it's true. If we are worried about what our grandma is going to say, or our mom that we haven't talked to in months or years, or who cares if we haven't talked to her since yesterday and we're caring about what she's going to think, Why? Why are we doing that? Affirm it to me right now in the chat. Starting now, I'm not so casual with life. I am going all in. I am playing all out with my life. I'm doing all that I can do and I'm all in. Yes. And this does not, yes, I'm all in with my life. And this does not mean that we are doing more and we're like hustle mode and we need to do all the things and like do it all we can do. No, give all you can give, do all you can do. But in this energy of limitless her energy, it's like this is the law of compensation. If we have been holding back, if I was to come on here and just teach you, lead you guys through this conversation as if there are two people on live with me, would I be living the life I am now even? No, not at all. That's the law of compensation. So we're going to be all in with life. We have a duty. We have a responsibility. And there's no coincidence that you're here and that you're in my world, because this is what we do here. We have a responsibility to go first. We have come from families and people around us that are pretty normal and pretty average, okay? Do we agree? And it is up to us to fucking own the fact that we are the black sheep and that we are going to show everyone else what's possible. We are going to help them to shake up their paradigm and to actually break out of the box that they have unconsciously built around themselves. That's what we're here to do. And so that responsibility requires us to get uncomfortable. It requires us to do things that normal people wouldn't do. It requires us to do it anyway, like Kelsey says, to do it anyway. Okay, so next time we feel that fear, we feel that discomfort, we feel that voice inside our head, oh, what are they going to think? We're going to say, good. Yes, I want them to think that. Why? Because I'm here to shake it up. We're here to help them. And how do we help them? We go first. We do not try to suggest books and like invite them to like events or whatever, like necessarily the right people. Yes, of course. The people that are ready to hear this will be ready to come forward and hear this. But not everybody is. They're watching you though. People are always watching, especially in today's day and age. We have this internet thing, right? People are always fucking watching you. And so feel free to suggest my book to them. Exactly, right? So we have this responsibility. How are we going to change the most lives? By taking up the most space, by being the full expression of ourselves. Yes, so many people have reached out this week that I didn't even know were watching. Exactly, Shayla, me too. Incredible, right? So we're going to impact the most lives, change the most lives through being the most of ourselves and through making the most money. That is a big one. That's a whole other conversation. I feel a money program coming soon. Okay, because the most impactful people on this planet are the ones with the most wealth, the most abundance, the biggest impact, the biggest, what do I call that? The biggest influence. So starting now, we do not downplay our life. We do not dim our light for anybody or anything. We own it. We fucking own it. And we take up space and we expand and we have so much fun doing it. Okay. So, yes, so exciting. You guys, the next step. I have been, honestly, I'm going to be so transparent with you right now. I have been sitting on a program that I am going to be speaking about publicly today. And it's something that is very new and it has come about only 2 days ago. Okay. It wasn't even 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it came through yesterday. It came through yesterday. But I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you about it. But in full honesty and transparency, I have a mastermind called the Quantum Leap Mastermind. You guys that are on live, you already know about it. This is the natural next step. Why is a mastermind the natural next step? Is because continuing to be in the room with other women who are consciously riding this vibration and frequency, who are constantly rising, not from effort or force, but through ease and bliss, is everything. That is everything. So masterminding is not just group coaching, right? It is coming into the room with other masterminds, other women, and specifically inside the quantum leap, it is women who have committed to the fucking leap, who are taking the uncomfortable action, who are continuing every single day to expand their perceptions of what's possible. They don't tap sometimes, they tap every single day, multiple times a day. Okay, so the mastermind is the natural next step. I'm just putting that out there, just saying that for those of you that are already, you're committed to taking unconventional, creating unconventional results, the mastermind is where you want to hang out. Okay, because that's where we gather and that's where we go bigger together. That is a 6-month mastermind. You have monthly one-on-one calls with me for calibration. Okay, beyond that, do you want to hear what landed for me a couple days ago? This is a program that is specifically for the Jocelyn who is in the thick of the thick. Okay. And so the reason I mentioned the mastermind first is because specifically those of you that are on live, I know that this is more of where you're headed. Okay. I want you to keep going, keep expanding. And I know that a lot of you that are watching actually on the replay as well are there. And you're like, let's fucking go. Let's fucking fly. Okay. I do know, however, that there will be some of you that are sitting here and you're like, wow, this is a lot of information. And I feel like my entire world has like transformed around me and my mind is absolutely blown. Okay. So I was sitting with this idea for a second and thinking of how can I serve? How can I really serve? I don't want to say like on a bigger scale, but how can I serve like the younger version of me? And how can I do so in a way that is like completely accessible and it has the ability to be the catalyst to transform countless lives. Okay. And just like Kelty mentioned, she went through default to designed, which I think was an 8-week program. This is along similar lines to default to designed, but I've decided to call it manifest. And it is an 11-week group coaching program where you learn how to manifest more freedom, more love, and more abundance into your life the effortless way. Okay, so this is, again, a very much a program that the younger version of me, the Jocelyn who believed still was, this is for the Jocelyn who was in the what if. She was like, oh, fuck, this doesn't need to be my reality. What if there's more available? This is exactly what would have caused a quantum leap in her life. 11 weeks is just what is it, around 3 months, right? This is incredible. This is so exciting. So this is a model that I've never done before. So I'm going to explain it to you guys. So we start on November 11th, 11/11. It is 11 weeks and it is $111 a month. Okay. Again, I wanted to make this something that the Jocelyn of back then could say yes to. This is me serving on a wider scale and welcoming people into this material that maybe still have limitations in their thinking when it comes to finances. There will be 23 calls. I added them all. That's a lot of calls. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have one lesson per week and I'm going to have one embodiment call. This is something I've never done, but I feel like it's so perfect. Okay. One lesson, one embodiment call. Then we're also going to have a graduation call because there's something really magical that happens in our brain when we celebrate. And when we close a chapter like that and affirm, I have graduated. It's so beautiful. Okay, so there are VIP add-ons. There's add-ons, there's private coaching add-ons. It's going to be absolutely so expansive. And I want to give you guys, specifically those of you that registered for this event, I want to give you the opportunity. And again, like this is like my way of giving back and of serving. And like, I'm going to cry because like I truly believe like this information is life changing. And if I would have had this information back then, I don't know where I'd be. Like I would have changed my entire life really, really, really fast. So, like I said, it's a program where we start at the foundation of awareness, building awareness, and we go through 11 weeks of lessons. Through 11 lessons, we have this expansion of the different levels of manifestation. Okay, it is a program that builds upon itself. It is not just like 1 week we talk about money, 1 week we talk about love. It's literally how to manifest more freedom, more love, and more abundance into your life the effortless way. How to build an effortless life, how to build an effortless empire and business and revolution, all of the things. Okay. And how to become the best of yourself, essentially how to quantum leap. Okay. And then the gift I want to give you guys because you've registered is you can bring a friend for free. You're welcome. Okay. So if you're feeling called to join us inside that, if you've registered for this event, if you have not registered, you can still register. Just go into the show notes, go into the comments, the description below. If you're watching on YouTube, you can register, message me directly because I really truly know that this information is everything, right? And you guys can really truly attest to that we're onto something here. We're onto something big. And it's not just information, it's also this tool that I've taught you. And I will teach you inside this program as well. Inside the mastermind, you get full access to my tapping membership. Like we are tapping all the time. Tapping is a tool that you get to use and you get to utilize in every part of your life. So going forward, it's amazing. All right, so I'm going to stop rambling and stop talking. And thank you guys so much for being here. The links to everything are going to be in your email very soon. If you have any questions or want to have a little chat, just reach out to me directly. I'm happy to help you. I'm here for the rise. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I know that you know the truth within you and you can feel it in your soul. I'm here to support you in making a decision. If you feel that you have resistance around it, we can talk through it, whatever. And you guys, like, honestly, the best next step is the mastermind. But if you are newer around here and are looking for yeah, how to, and that really, truly the embodiment of the effortless way, I invite you in to manifest. Okay. Go have a beautiful day, you guys. So grateful for every single one of you. We love you. Bye.